Here's the real reason your builder is ghosting you and what you can do about it. You've seen it, heard about it, read it on the internet. Here Monday, gone Tuesday. Back on Wednesday, gone Thursday, Friday. Workers show up, they leave. You call the builder, doesn't call you back. Call the builder again, his wife picks up. She says, oh, yeah, he's sick today. Sorry, the guys will be there Monday though. Okay, bye. Something else that's actually going on. I'm Aaron, lead instructor and director at Albatross Academy, and I've been in the construction industry for 15 years as an estimator, project manager, designer, and carpenter, and I'm here to tell you the real reason that your builder has stopped answering your phone calls. And spoiler alert, he's not sick. So to help analyze this problem, we need to look at how builders are born and who they are. So builders almost all start the same way. They're apprentices, they get into the trades, and they work their way up through hours and thousands of hours under the tutelage and the mentorship of older and more experienced builders. And that's how they come up. And eventually they get to the point where they have enough experience and they put enough time in that they start looking around and they start thinking, I could probably do all this. I could do this and I could get paid a lot more if I had my own company. So they start their own company. Once they start their own company, they start getting small jobs and little renos and additions, and then eventually they get into bigger jobs. When they get into bigger jobs, the money is better and they start getting paid more, they start making more money, and so they want to take on more work. And this is what ends up happening. They start taking on more work, but maybe they aren't able to hire guys, or they aren't able to hire guys that they trust. So when they're coming up, they're certainly not trained in how to relate to people. They're trained how to build stuff, and they get really good at building stuff. And then they get kicked over into the client side, the sales and the face-to-face with customer side. And a lot of them, it's a sink or swim moment, and a lot of them sink. They don't have the people skills. They're just used to dealing with saws and wood and other carpenters. And so they end up kind of floundering a little bit. So let's set the scene for the real pain schmozzle that unfolds. Make sure you take a second to subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And make sure that you don't miss videos like this coming up. You hire a builder to build a custom home, and it's going okay at first. Then seemingly all of a sudden, workers are there one day, then they're gone the next. Then they're back for 2 days and they're gone for 2 days. And you can see your own schedule being flushed down the toilet faster than gummies at the Olympic Village. You wonder what's going on, so you start leaving messages and you start getting fewer and fewer replies or text messages. And now you get the feeling like you're being ghosted. And next thing you know, you're posting inflammatory reviews on Google and Facebook and Instagram and any other platform that you'll sign up for. You're getting another builder to look at finishing your project. You don't have any info if your builder's coming back or not. You're hearing things at the hardware store. It's just a mess. Now, if you're getting the hot sweats because this is starting to feel like high school drama, you're right. That's because it is exactly that. Let me explain. Your builder signed a contract with you. Hopefully, but halfway through your job, another more profitable job came along, and your builder said, yes, please. But without hiring more workers, he can't make both projects go at the same time. So like a classic two-timer, he bounces between the two projects as best he can, as long as he can keep dodging phone calls or feigning sick or being out of town, AKA at the other job. So the builder will eventually get resentful in an effort to justify their own behavior with ideas like, I'm just trying to make a living here. And internally, they make the clients out to be the bad guy. And you'll find this if you end up getting in any type of confrontation. It's pretty classic stuff. Now, real crooks will take the money and leave town. Bad builders will just keep servicing the client that appears to be the angriest until one gets frustrated enough to kick them out the door. Then he'll finish the other job. This tale is as old as time, and there's lots of different variations. Builders are constantly trying to manage expectations while maximizing profit. But fear not, there are some things that you can do. I had an old jiu-jitsu instructor who once was asked the question, hey, teacher, how do I get out of a rear naked choke that's sunk in really, really deep? And the teacher would say, how do you get out? Don't get in. And that lesson applies here. So strategy number one, you need to ask the right questions before hiring the builder. Asking questions like, how many guys do you have? How many projects do you typically take on at a time? What projects do you have on the books? What projects do you have coming up in the next 6 months, year, 18 months? All these questions will help you determine, is this person taking on more work than they're able to complete? Or are they wide open? Do they regularly dedicate specific guys and workers to specific jobs and leave them there until the end of the project? These are all questions that you can ask beforehand, and they're really, really important to ask. It's also okay to ask them really directly. How many jobs will you have running if you start when we want to start? And can you assure me that you won't take on any more work while my project is alive? Now, ultimately, they won't be bound by this agreement, but it lets them know that you're aware of their capacity. And builders who know you're paying attention are less likely to try to pull this stuff. Strategy number 2. Now, this may not work for everyone, and it's a little bit sneaky. So try to make a lockable place available to the carpenters for the workers to leave their tools on site. Now, here's the logic behind this. If they have their tools at your site, they actually are less likely to physically go and get them and move them to another site and back and forth. So if you can keep their tools on site for as long as you can, it just might be enough friction to keep them at your site. Now, it doesn't work for everything, obviously, but sometimes it's just enough of a hassle to make them want to stay. And strategy number 3, be vigilant, but not a jerk. So if your builder starts missing days at your site, just give them a quick call and ask them really politely if everything's okay. You don't have to be a jerk about it and say, "Where were you?" But it's good to just check in and say, "Hey, I noticed you guys weren't on site today. Is everything okay?" And that way you can let them know that you're noticing and this is not going unnoticed, putting you on notice, that they're noticing and you're noticing them, noticing you, noticing them. If you're experiencing this behavior and your builder is totally dodging your calls, it means they don't want the confrontation usually. Really trying to find the builder and talk to them in person, you'll probably find you get a little bit of a different treatment. Now, I'm not advocating for like tracking someone down and physically intimidating them or something like that, but just going and having an honest conversation. People are far less likely to lie to you to your face than they are in a text message or on a phone. And you may be able to go to the local hardware store where everyone gets materials and ask where their other job sites are. So you may be able to find out. Now, they may not tell you, and this may be a bit of a risky strategy, but if you really need to get a hold of someone, that might be your last resort. So just to recap, it's really, really important that you vet the builder before you hire them. Don't get into that rear naked choke. Don't get into that situation. So I know this is frustrating. Building a custom home should be a super exciting experience and not feel like you're getting cheated on. But now you know what to look for. You know the questions to ask and you know the warning signs. Don't forget, knowledge is power. The more you know about this industry and how some builders operate, the more equipped you are to protect yourself. I'm excited to announce I'm launching a crash course on how to hire the right builder for your project. The course will teach you exactly what questions to ask during the vetting process, how to read between the lines, what red flags to look for in contracts, what contract structure to use, and how to protect yourself if things start going sideways. So check that out in the future at albatrossacademy.ca.